So I'm going to do a demo of a short demo of the Tecton ocipipeline custom tasks. So this is a weird custom task that allows you to run a pipeline with an mtdir workspace to share data. So this usually doesn't work because the OCI workspace, the mtdir workspace is going to be empty each time. But this custom task takes this mtdir workspace and we'll be using OCI image instead to transfer data from one task to the other. So the idea is once the first task finishes, we package the workspace into an OCI image, we push it somewhere, ideally in the internal registry, and then the next step takes it, extract it, and go on. As it's custom task, we are using the run objects. So you would run your pipeline as usual. So you can define your pipeline as usual. So this is going to be, I'm going to show the pipeline file later, but this is going to be looking exactly like this, and the run would just specify data. So there's going to be a bit of limitation, but we'll go in there after. So once it's installed, we can dig a little bit. So we have a pipeline. The pipeline is very standard. It's just going to do a git clone and build something. And the run itself is going to be very like a pipeline run. So we are passing the service account name mainly to have the secrets attached that allows us to push to a given registry. Here I'm going to use docker.io, that's why it's going to use this. And then we refer to an OCI pipeline, and the name is simple pipeline. So this is kind of a hack in custom task. You can this is actually referring a pipeline, but I'm using a fake kind to bypass this. In the param, there's the usual params, and there is two specific params today that will be picked up by the OCI pipeline controller. One is the base image and one is the target. So the base image is which should be the initial image. It will be based on something very similar to Scratch, and but you can use anything else. So you could use a base image that has already data in. And the target is where is it gonna push data from one step to another, and to you can use the context run name if you want to have a different OCI image for a different run. And the workspace is because if you have multiple workspaces defined here with mtdir, it's going to pick them all and do the same for all of them. So you kind of need to specify something there. So now if I'm trying to create this pipeline run, what we'll see is that, well, there's a run as usual, which is going to run, and there's a pipeline run. And now if we look at the logs of the pipeline run, so this is the run simple pipeline, we'll see that it did the initial step, the grab source, it did clone, and now it's exporting the workspace contents from workspace output to docker.io /vidmister pipeline notification pipeline run simple sources.latest. It did push something, and it went to the next task, and the next task, the initial step that got injected kind of is extracting the workspace that was previously sent into the workspace. So it did extract the content of this OCI image in the source, and we can see that this is the repo this is the content of the repo that was cloned, and we can build it, and at the end it's gonna push it and export it. So this is pretty much it. There's a bunch of limitation. Parallel task is not well tested yet because we don't merge things. It's not also very optimized. We don't do a diff between the previous layer and the new layer, so we might end up with duplication. This is something that can be fixed by the tooling we use. But yeah, this is a more of a proof of concept of something that would work. We could think of doing the exact same thing with something with a SSH server and rsync or something that would just sync back in and out the content of the source code of the workspace. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this demo.